Howdy. It is a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It's a sunny 41 degrees in Morrow, Ohio on December 23rd, 2021. I'm going to do a demo. I don't know how long it's going to be yet. This is an amp that was literally handed to me yesterday because a friend of mine thought I should try it out. And I think I've seen a couple demos of these online in the usual guitar demoing suspects, but this is the first time I've been able to, get my hands on one because I don't really need a whole bunch of more amps, and so basically, unless somebody does something like this and hands me one, I'm not going to run into one. Anyway, it is a Stage Right. The model number is a 611815. I don't know what that means, but it has a power switch that goes from 15 watts to 1 watt. I'm going to try that out in this demo here. I've just got it set up kind of mostly clean, or not mostly clean, everything kind of 12 o'clock right now. And I have never heard this amp. This is actually, I've not actually turned it on. I just plugged it in about 2 minutes ago so that the light would go on and it wouldn't embarrass me on the camera. But I do know that it has had the stock Celestion 7080, which, I mean, I get why they put that speaker in amps. They're trying to keep the price point low, but it doesn't do any favors to any amp I've ever heard it in. You can always do better with a new speaker. And the guy that owns this one has put a Celestion Classic Lead 80 in it. Now, that's not always my favorite speaker either. I tend to prefer the Vintage 30 as my speaker of choice, but we'll see how this one goes. I know him. He likes Marshally tones, so my guess is that he will have tailored it that way with his choice of speaker. It's a 1x12. It's a fairly square 1x12 as 1x12s go, kind of more Marshall form than Fender. You know how Fender tends to be wide and have a bunch of unused space on the sides, whereas Marshall kind of tightly builds around that 12-inch speaker. I've got right next to it here a Mesa 525 Express, so you can see how that goes, and then back here is a Prince and Reverb. So not a big 1x12. I've seen much bigger for sure. I'm going to see if I can't zoom in so we can actually see the controls before I get started here. It's got a gain, volume, tone, bass, middle, treble, reverb, and then it's got a wattage switch. So already the tone knob has me confused because it's also got bass, middle, and treble. So I'm not sure what's going on there. I guess we'll find out. But I'm going to go ahead and back on out of here, and we're going to turn it on and see what it does for sounds. And I'm going to zoom in on the control panel so you guys can see what I'm changing in here. See if I can get most of the controls in. I think you can probably read this on a good-sized monitor. I can see it on my little camera. So I'm going to play it with it's a PRS Bernie, the SE. I don't know if there's a non-SE Bernie, but it's the SE, except that it has Wolf Tone Dr. Vintage pickups, which are a big step up from the stock PRS pickups. GBV or somebody makes those pickups, and they're not great. So I'm going to turn it on for the first time here. I have the volume probably way higher than I want to start with. So I'm going to turn this down. And I can already hear that I'm going to need to tune this guitar a little bit first. That's not the guitar's fault, by the way. This I just put new strings on it, and I haven't played much with it yet. So there we got it. The gain about halfway up, all the EQ kind of middle, and bridge pickup. Watch me tune, but there's the volume's about I don't know, 1.5 master volume. Gain's about halfway up, back gain down some, and it'll make really boring non-martially sounds. Put it about 2/3. Really not exciting yet. Let's see what this tone knob does here. Nothing. Nothing that I can hear. Oh, there it is. That's got a little more. This G string. So it makes it brighter, but what is it doing? So that does something, yeah. That definitely does something. I just don't know what the point is of having a tone. So, anyway, let's turn it all the way up in the gain. Seems only kind of minimally useful. Doesn't do a whole lot. I mean, you can hear a little more tubbiness when you turn the bass all the way up, and it gets dull if you turn the treble all the way down. I still do not understand the combination of a tone and then a 3-band EQ. Let's see. Let's back off the gain and actual springs. So that's a pretty surprising, I'm going to have to honestly look up to see. I don't think this is a very expensive amp, and that seems like a pretty... Seems like a pretty nice upgrade for an amp in this price point, even if it's probably a small tank. Alright, so now having this is on the 15 watt setting, we're going to switch it down to 1 watt, I believe. It does get quite a bit quieter. Let's see what we can do with the volume. Pretty ballsy for a little cheap amp. And the speaker hits pretty hard, although, again, that's not the stock speaker, so. Definitely on the 1 watt setting, the gain sounds much, much mushier and more compressed when you turn it all the way up on the 1 watt setting. So it's definitely more of your kind of fluid lead kind of I'm gonna have to actually, do some research now and look up what these cost. It does have. It's got a line out and a return, so that's an effects loop. It does have a reverb on and off foot switch available and external speaker. So that's pretty impressive. I'm gonna say that's a good option if you're looking for a 1x12 carrying amp, because it's little gigs you want to go with the guitar case in one hand and amp in the other and nothing in between. I could gig with that, yeah. I mean, especially if you've got a club where you can mic it, where you can use the line out, probably to go to a PA, maybe with an IR in the middle. But I'm pretty impressed, really, considering how inexpensive it is. I wonder. It's already 18 minutes in. I hate to make too long a video, but I'm wondering if it's maybe worth checking out with a telly. And I just happen to have in the same room here a Fender 52 reissue, which has had the pickups upgraded to a twisted telly set. Hope you're wearing headphones. Alright, so obviously a lot noisier. So yes, obviously a lot noisier because it's a single put. Telly through it too, so I don't know. I would say if you get a chance to check one of these out, do it. It is, as I said, a stage right 6-1. It's going to be in a shadow. I don't know. 611. Oh, 611815. Yeah. So I think a pretty cool little amp. definitely worth checking out if you're looking for a grab and go amp for sure. You know, especially compared to some of the other options in that category. But hey, there you go. Thanks.